Welcome to the Shadow Realm of the world's best-selling fighting game series of all time, Super Smash Bros. Not the 1999 entry, but the 2014 entry. Deemed to be the black sheep of the series, this was ignored by apocalyptic Smash players, forcing them to go back into Melee. Unlike Brawl, Super Smash Bros. 2014 is a step up from the mess caused in the aforementioned game, of all of which we'll explain starting soon. Another thing I need to mention is that this game has been ported to the Wii U, a game console greatly ignored by hundreds of third parties most recently. Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves for making a bad game on the Wii U and not having others buy the game on the console like they did in the Melee days. First off, the game pace is ridiculously slow, and fighting games are not meant to be like that. The good thing is that the pace got improved by being faster than Brawl, but is not as fast as Melee. Dash dancing can be messed up several times just because of an insufficient pace change done to the game itself. Imagine dashing up to the edge trying to spike attack the fallen enemy. It was too late, thanks to how the game pace is done. Air dodging is identical to that of Brawl, and is shown to be an abomination by extreme Smash players. Brawlers move much slower because of this, and the direction-based air dodge system from Melee was much faster and preferable, simulating air dashes, triple jumps, and wave dashes. All this cannot be done in SSB 2014, therefore making the gameplay lousy and irritating. Another screw-up of the game is that chain grabs have been taken out. The chain grabs are an important technique in doing a combo of attacks in place or moving to the side until a smash attack solves the situation. An enemy has to wait for 2 seconds before getting grabbed again, screwing up the combo big time. Another factor is that Marth and Lucina have their throws much more aggressive due to the chain grabs being non-existent. Like Brawl, there is delay between attacks, and I feel very bad about it. Chaining attacks very quickly could not be done here, and Melee had little to no delay between attacks, making it a more combo-friendly game. Also, L canceling is nowhere to be found. It just seems aggravated not being able to stop an air move and replace it with a different attack at the same time as landing. I am irritated at Nintendo for making custom special moves very limited. They included that feature, but one of my favorite characters do not have the special moves I want. Mario had the Flood, which was a useless special move that got added since Brawl. Flood remained in SSB 2014, and there is no special move alteration to replace the Flood with the Mario Tornado. Good going, Nintendo! I do not want to use Mario anymore for ruining your mascot big time. Everything done to SSB 2014 is a piece of skit, and Nintendo was just doing these things just to make other consumers stay away from it. They are starting to be the new Capcom, and every iteration becomes worse and worse each time. Nintendo, if you want to make better games, then go pull off a Sega or anything like that. I am just sick and tired of those idiotic flaws. Do not play online. Online mode is a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad time to rape strangers over the globe. All inputs have noticeable lag, and worse connections will give the player worse lag. Nintendo must have added it in a low budget and tried to cater it to the online gamers. However, it failed miserably, and Smash Beasts stay away from online play. If Nintendo got financially better, then they could use GGPO's netcode if they got permission from the GGPO team. I assume they have not heard of GGPO, and they do not know how to make the netcode work properly. I think Nintendo keeps doing the wrong things in the wrong direction. A lot of companies are sticking their middle fingers in front of Nintendo for being abysmal. Here is good news to the gameplay in Super Smash Bros. 2014. Ledge grabs have been improved, and random tripping has been ditched completely. The ledge grabs have been changed so that the original grabber falls off when intercepted by the enemy. The older games did not have such feature, making it unlucky. The matches had gone shorter in the olden days, but they got longer as newer entries progressed. Remember the random tripping in Brawl? Everyone hated it, and makes that game broken as well. Thank goodness the random tripping is nowhere to be found in Super Smash Bros. 2014. I'll accept that, and I find this game somewhat better than I expected. There are only a couple of good mechanics in this game, but a lot were awful in ways. the Smash player gets introduced to this game, I would give it a pass. Melee is better produced and should be in the spotlight way more often. Start there instead, and work the way up. There are bunches of good extras and bunches of bad extras thrown in. Super Smash Bros. Is a fighting game series old school Nintendo fans like to get into, and there are features each game has to offer. The character roster is huge and more diverse than the older games, but is missing certain fan favorites like Mewtwo, Roy, Ice Climber, Young Link, and Pichu. Super Smash Bros. Melee, deemed to be the pinnacle of the entire series, had all the fighters up to the melee point, and is the only version to have Master Hand playable through a secret command. In other games, Master Hand is a computer-only fighter, and several fighters are missing. Referring back to the SSB 2014 roster, its huge number of entrants could be used for an endurance battle mode a la the King of Fighters in Mortal Kombat, which only got implemented in Brawl's Pokemon Trainer and Adventure mode. Endurance is gone entirely, though it would not matter with competitive players. There is 8-player Smash, an experiment with Wii U designed after Melee's Multi-Man Melee mode. As Multi-Man Melee did 6 fighters on the same screen, SSB 2014 does 8 fighters on the same screen. 8-player Smash is already a mess, and seems to be a commercial failure. Most fighting games like Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, Asura Blade, and Arcana Heart are up to 2 players. No one cares about 8-player, so the traditional 4-player has to stay for the Super Smash Bros. Series since the start. A Smash Tour mode is added, and serves as the Super Smash Bros. Equivalent of Dokapon Kingdom in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Move across the board and participate in random battles. This mode can take too long, which is good for sleepovers and visits, but not competitive attractions. I haven't found out anything good lastly, except for the timed masterpiece demos. If players are wondering how Nintendo used to be good in the olden days, they should try them out before deciding whether to get them or not. Good luck, because game consoles can cost over hundreds of dollars nowadays. I have explained Super Smash Bros. 2014 in a nutshell, and I highly suggest avoiding this game at all costs. There are lots of better fighting games out there in the market, and play those games if Super Smash Bros. Does not interest pals. If somehow Super Smash Bros. Is a game of interest, then get Super Smash Bros. Melee due to the fact that it stands out from the other Smash games and is still being played by pro Smashers globally. Get in, or get out, as they always said back then.